Hey guys, welcome back to another Colorful Keto with Dory. So today we're doing something super fun. We're getting together with another new TikTok friend. And I'm so excited. If you guys have not head over to TikTok yet, what are you waiting for? It's so much fun over there. So I see that the doc has joined us. Send me a request and I will add you in. So it's just a button to send me a request. Hello, Miss Kathy. There we go. And in we go. I feel like it's a Friday already and it's not yet. So like bonus, it feels like double Friday this week. Just saying.
Hi there.
Hello. Oh, look at me. I'm the perfect height. I'm like,
So what's going on?
So I'm so excited to meet you, Dr. Jason. Why don't you tell us who you are? And while you do that, I'm going to quick share this live to my group.
Sounds like a plan. So let me just get some better lighting behind me.
Oh, for sure.
I'm home, not in my office, so the lighting's a little different. So guys, how you doing? I am Dr. Jason Pape, also known as Dr. Ketone.
You have to do your TikTok intro because I love it. Let's do it. Like, retake right now. Go. No pressure.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Jason Pape, also known as chiropractor extraordinaire, also known as Dr. Ketone. Go live a lot on Facebook and TikTok, and I just dropped my camera, and that's why you like live, right, Dory?
Right.
Dory was nice enough to invite me to join you guys today, so I can give you guys a little keto insight, answer any questions you guys might have about the keto lifestyle, because it's one of the big things I do. I do functional medicine, which really is about healing the body with nutrition and diet, and chronic illness, whatever. And I like keto's a big part of what I do, and I try to bring that knowledge plus keto together to give people the best, help people get the best results in their keto lifestyle.
And I'm so excited. We're always excited to meet a low-carb, keto-friendly doctor. So why don't we start there? Why is it hard to find a keto low-carb doctor? Why are so many of my people struggling with this?
Well, one of the problems I find is that, first of all, keto is like a newer thing to a lot of people, even though the keto lifestyle has been around for 109 years now. In medical school and in chiropractic school, we're all taught ketones are a bad thing.
Okay.
We talk about it for maybe one day, and we're told that when you're diabetic and if it goes really bad, you get diabetic ketoacidosis and ketones are bad, blah blah blah. And that's all we're talking about, and that's it. And unfortunately, that's such a small piece of another issue that has nothing to do with keto.
Okay.
And we're just not taught it.
Well, and it's unfortunate.
And we're taught that fat's bad, right? We've been taught for years that fat's going to clog your arteries and fat's going to do this and blah, blah, blah. And it's all not true. Fat has been vilified for the last 60 years based on some faulty, bad research and propaganda by a man named Ansel Keys. So we're trying to fight a lot of that. So those are the issues we're dealing with, really, Dory. So
what do you do? What would you recommend, Dr. Jason, if one of my ladies said, I went to my doctor and he said, no. Don't do keto. What do you do if your research and your heart says, I want to do this, and your doctor says, nah-uh? What do you do?
Well, what I like to say a lot is, I'm a doctor, but I'm not your doctor, right? So every case is different. But what I really do is find yourself a doctor who understands the keto diet enough. They don't have to be able to teach it. They just have to understand that it can be a healthy option.
Okay.
And if they decide if they understand that and then know that based on your history that maybe it's not healthy for you, and then they understand it, then maybe that's a different story. Otherwise, find a new doctor. Exactly, Kim just said. That's what I tell people. If they don't understand keto, find a new doctor. And a lot of them just don't get it. So you have to do a little doctor shopping, but you're finding more and more doctors that are more friendly to it, or at least we're not going to vilify you for doing it.
Okay, and let's touch a little on dietitians. And the reason why I bring that up is because I don't know if your TikTok feed is as flooded as my TikTok feed, but it seems to be that every dietitian and their dog is hopping on the disc keto train. All of a sudden, it's super trendy to talk about how horrible keto is. So can we touch on that a little?
Sure. I mean, again, it comes down to the same thing. They're taught something for so long don't know any better, and some people, like, if that's all you know, and you think you're right because you don't ever want to, you're right here, you have to go learn something new and then change what you do. And sometimes it's easier just to, like, repel. And again, like you said, it's trendy to be anti-keto, right? Because everyone's doing it and everyone thinks of it like a fad. And just like every fad will come and go, which is not true. If you could make it a fad diet, we could talk about that. But this is real science, and the fact is they're just taught something for so long, they don't know any better. And dietitians, in general, are taught from a medical base.
So
a lot of them are sent patients from medical doctors. Let's
go there next, and let's say fad diet. Let's open that kettle of fish. Why isn't keto a fad diet?
Just because it's different and new and everyone's doing it, that's the fad part. But if you make it the kind of thing where you're diet hopping, where this is the new trend and I'm going to stay on that, then it's a fad diet.
Okay.
It's a real lifestyle, right? I like to talk about diet and lifestyle very different. Like, diet can mean two things. Diet can mean the food you intake, like your dietary intake, like what your food consists of every day.
Okay.
Or it can mean something you do for a short period of time to get a result.
See, that's the difference.
That's most fad diets. Like, and you don't need, like, Weight Watchers. Let's call Weight Watchers. Like, I'm not a big fan of Weight Watchers, but a lot of people do great with it. Okay? Is it a fad? No. When it was trendy for everyone to do Weight Watchers at once, then it was the fad.
Yeah.
But it's still just a diet. Unless you make that your lifestyle, it's a diet. And I look at it this way. A lot of people don't see this, or they don't want to see it. So what is the point of a diet? The point of a diet is that you've gotten to a point where you're not happy with your weight or your life. You want to lose weight in a short period of time so you can go back to doing what? Your crappy lifestyle. Right? So really, what's your lifestyle? Your lifestyle is garbage. Sorry, you're eating garbage or doing things unhealthily, and then when you get to a point where you're like, you've had enough, or your health's taking a toll, let's do a diet to drop the weight off so I can go back to my crappy lifestyle. So you can use keto for that. You can use anything for that. The question is, what do you want to do for your lifestyle? We feel that keto, when done properly, can be a very healthy lifestyle to maintain long term. Because ketones are a native state for us to be in.
So I want to go there next, because I saw a comment the other day, and it's not uncommon. I have seen this comment before, and the very helpful lady said this: you know, a lot of my family did keto very successfully, and they lost a lot of weight, and then they went off and they gained it all back within 2 months. So there's no point in doing keto. So you tell me your answer, and then I'll tell you my answer.
What we said before, right? They did keto to burn some fat and get the weight off. And it worked, obviously. Again, I can't speak to how they did all those kinds of things, but obviously they got a result which in their mind was, I want to lose weight. And now now that I got my weight back to where I want it, or close to it, I'm done doing that thing, that diet, and I'm going to go back and do whatever I want. So again, it's not about keto. It's about whatever. They could have done Weight Watchers. They could have done, the plant-based. They could have done anything they wanted. But if they shifted back to what they were doing before, I mean, that's my answer. I don't know if that matches your answer, but that's what I go with.
My answer is this. Do you know what? I took birth control for years and years and years, and then I stopped taking it, and in 2 months I got pregnant. So there's no point in taking birth control. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, it's the same theory, right? If you stop doing something, whatever you were stopping to do it for is going to come back if you stop doing it,
Yes.
Now, again, by the way, people don't just randomly get pregnant from not doing birth control, right? Yeah, there's other factors involved, just so people don't know, oh my God, if I stop taking it, will I automatically be pregnant? Will that 17-year-old sperm make it to the egg? No. I had to go there.
Humor, right? When someone comes at you, the best way to deal with that is humor. So I kind of want to go there next and say, what is the most ridiculous thing that someone has come at you with as their argument as to why you shouldn't keto? Because I've heard some doozies. I'm sure you have too.
Oh yeah, listen, I find that sometimes you have to really make it so obviously absurd that people go, oh yeah. Because it is just logic, right?
Yeah.
When there's so many things I explain like that when it comes to nutrition and health in general, that people are like, oh, I never thought of it like that. Because you never think to question it, because this is what you know. So when you really challenge it with such an absurd option, it's like, well, if I stop birth, if I stop the birth control, why did I get pregnant? Well, I don't know.
I don't know. The birds and the bees are above me. Although I did raise a child to adulthood and not, ruin it, break it. Whenever I see other women with adult children, I'm like, oh, look at you. We should be friends. We both did this. Yay.
That's awesome. Sorry, I keep reading like that. My volume got all weird, so I don't hear you as well, but it's not on you. It's on my end.
Oh, no, it's all good. So why don't we talk a little bit next about why keto? Why do you keto? What was your story? How did you find this way of eating?
You're saying why keto, right?
Yeah, why? Why for you?
So here's the thing, and I go back to this a lot. In general, when you do what the body is made to do genetically, it does better.
Okay.
Right? The more you veer from what we're supposed to do as a species and what our genetics are, the more likely you are to eventually have a problem. Like, our bodies can adapt. They're amazing adaptive organisms, right? It's not survival of the fittest, it's survival of the most adaptable. So our ancestors really were the most adaptable, and they lived, and we evolved and adapted to our environment. So the more you stray from that, the more your body has to try to adapt to compensate, and eventually it hits fail points. Whatever your genetic predispositions are to fail point, that's what it's going to be. We're all predisposed to get something, right? I don't want to wait to manifest it, so I'm going to try to be as clean as I can and keep those things away from my body that are going to be harmful. So when it comes to keto and other things, I try to stay away from those things as much as possible and preach that. So when you talk about keto, if you look at hunter-gatherers, which is what we are, thousands of generations, even though we've had a few hundred generations like we are now, not enough to change our genetics. Genetically speaking, we spend 70% of the time, 70% of the time in ketosis.
Okay.
30% of the time burning glucose. Once you stop breastfeeding as a baby, not being the one giving the breast milk, or if you breastfed at all, you eat carbs and you don't starve.
Okay. So
you very rarely, if at all, ever see a ketone anymore. So you go from burning a fuel source that you're only supposed to be burning maybe 30% of the time to burning it 98, 99% of the time.
Oh, okay.
Years upon years upon years upon years upon years. And eventually your body gets sick of listening to the insulin that you need to get the glucose in your cells. And you become insulin resistant. Just as an example. So if you start looking at ketones put ketones plus or ketosis plus and pick a disease.
Okay.
You're going to see all this new research coming out saying all these amazing things. And it's like, oh my God, it's this miracle. No, it's not a miracle, really, if you think about it. It's putting the body back to its native state, things get better. So the only way to get into ketosis anymore is only 3 ways. You could do a keto diet, which is eating high-fat, low-carb, moderate protein, and basically starve your body of carbs, force it into fat burning, right? Or fasting, right? Taking food away, mimicking a state of starvation, and forcing your body to shift fuel sources.
Okay.
The third option nowadays is drinking them, which you didn't have that more than about 5 years ago. That didn't exist, which makes it a lot easier and more accessible for people who maybe don't want to do keto but still want the benefits of ketones. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So let's talk about that for a minute, because I feel like our community is split right down the middle between people who believe in drinking exogenous ketones and people who don't. And it's like the keto free spirits and the keto Nazis. It's that same voracious feeling about it. If you believe in them, you believe in them, and if you don't, you don't. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay. So listen, there's a lot of misconceptions and myths about exogenous ketones out there, and I found, 3.5 years ago when I first started working with them, it was a huge, like this. And now as more research is coming out and more people are getting to try them and use them and seeing results, you almost can't argue with it. I kind of I think about creatine back when it came back on the market in the bodybuilding supplement back in the mid-90s. And it was such people pounding against it. Now it's the usual. When protein drinks came out, oh, that's crazy. You should just eat 20 chickens. No, I can drink a protein drink and it works. Right? I could do that, but I could drink this and it's the same result. So some people think it's just expensive pee, things like that. It's not really true. Using a quality. I specifically work with one company. That is 100% bioavailable. So I know that your body's using all of it, you're not just peeing it out. There's certain forms that your body doesn't utilize. So, when you're not, so here's what I would say. When you drink the ketones, they go into your body then sees the ketones in your blood. This beta-hydroxybutyrate, the same thing gets dropped from your liver into your bloodstream. Your body doesn't, as long as it's bioidentical, your body doesn't care how it got there.
Okay.
Right? The body's the example I use is this. You go to the club and the DJ's spinning his tunes, and the DJ gets more excited than what people on the dance floor, right? And he gets going and everyone's having a good time, right? The DJ could care less if they came in through the front door, through the bouncer, or if they climbed in through the back window.
Okay.
He doesn't give a crap. They got onto the dance floor. He doesn't care how they got there. The body, as long as it's a bioidentical form, which is what I use it doesn't matter. So the body's going to use it like fuel, which is the part of it. And people have to understand, ketones are a huge signaling molecule.
Okay.
They have a lot of effects in the body, not just as a fuel source. So because they're there, your body will utilize them. Now, if you've never been in ketosis before, just like anyone new to the keto lifestyle, remember, you get into ketosis pretty quick. You can get in ketosis relatively quickly for some people. Some people it takes longer. The big step is not getting there. The next step is getting adapted, right? So keto-adapted means that you're utilizing ketones well. When you're peeing on a urine strip, that means you're flush. They're not being absorbed very well.
Okay.
I did a video last night on 3 things that kill your ketosis. Basically, people worry about the pee strip all the time. When you have ketones in your body, you can use them or lose them.
Yeah.
If you lose them, you're peeing them out. If you're using them, you don't pee them out. So over time, a pee strip is not going to be effective. Now, what I'm saying that is because when you're using them, whether you're newly into keto on your own and or drinking them, you're going to pee some out.
Okay.
You're not efficient at it yet. But the more your body sees ketones, the higher level it sees it, the faster it adapts.
Okay.
So what we found a lot of times with people using ketone supplements is one thing it does is it actually helps them adapt faster. Because it's hard to get into ketosis, and most people, 0.5 millimoles is what you want in the blood. It's hard to get 0.5, 0.7, 1.5 for a lot of people. It's tough to do, especially early on. This stuff will put you, the ones I use, at least 2 to 3 millimoles.
Okay. So
you have a lot more. And if you're only using a little bit of a lot because you're not adapted yet, if you have a little bit of a little, or a little bit of a bigger picture, you're going to get more. So you can have a better effect. And there's a number of mechanisms they're finding that ketones on their own help you burn fat. Because some people say, well, if you're drinking ketones, your body's not going to break down fat from ketone. Well, that's not true at all. In fact, there are a number of mechanisms that they're showing through the research in which ketones do stimulate fat loss.
Okay.
It's not good. You can't turn ketones into fat. It doesn't go that way. What goes into fat? Glucose goes to fat. Ketones don't go to fat. There's not a reverse aspect of that. So you either pee them out or you use them. So it's not like you're like, oh, you're taking all those ketones, your body, if it doesn't need them, it's just going to turn into fat. That's a myth.
Okay.
It doesn't block your burning because there's many mechanisms I can go into if you really want of how it breaks down fat. And it just supports your lifestyle. And one thing we do see, 2 things I'll talk about. One, with keto flu. Y'all know what keto flu is. If you don't, basically, most people think keto flu is about like water and electrolytes. That's maybe 2%.
Okay.
98% of the time, keto flu is about hypoglycemia, right? Because you're starving your body of glucose, and then your body has to shift, right? So it takes a little bit of time just to get into ketosis, and that window alone.
Oh, I think we're frozen just a little bit. Boop, boop. We'll give you a second and see if you unfreeze. And then if not, I can pop you out and we can try it again. We'll just give it we'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll pull you out and then pop back in. There we go. Will it even let me do that? There we go. Okay, so give me a second. See if you unfreeze. Send me another join request. Otherwise, we can cut it short for today and pick it up next time if you're having some sort of technical issues. That happens sometimes. I'm guessing maybe a call came in and froze your phone. Oh, there we go. Let's get you back in. Second time's a charm. Oh, fingers crossed, connecting. There we go.
It was so weird. I was talking and then I disappeared. and then I saw myself talking, and then I couldn't request back in. It's so strange.
I just popped you out so we could pop you back in.
Yeah, I caught myself. So we're back, though. So,
yes.
I'm sorry. So keto flu I was talking
that's
about.
all good.
That's
yes.
Okay. I'll just pick up where I left off. So basically what happens is you drop that. So before you even get into ketosis, you're starving your body of glucose, right? And your body, depending on how resistant you are, your body's going to hold. Like some people's bodies are so adapted to glucose, it's like, I will not do anything but wait for glucose, right? So in that state, you get hypoglycemic.
Okay.
What's hypoglycemia? Well, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, I have brain fog, I am maybe a little lightheaded, I don't feel great. What's that sound like? Keto flu?
A little,
keto
yeah.
flu with hypoglycemia. If you drew a Venn diagram, there'd be like this overlap of like keto and like keto flu and hypoglycemia. That's what it is.
Okay.
And then there's that time between now you're in ketosis, between you becoming adapted, and sometimes that's rough on people. So what we find is when we supplement with ketones, they don't get keto flu. Not one person I use ketone supplements with have ever had keto flu. Now, again, we always want to keep water and electrolytes coming in because that's important with the keto lifestyle, and even when you're using ketones, because ketones are naturally diuretic. But it's really a great thing. And then the other piece I was going to say about exogenous ketones, which I don't remember now. Oh, it was a study came out not even a year ago, right out of here on Long Island, back in April, showing that those who are insulin resistant, type 2 diabetes, it takes them, it's a lot harder for them to get into ketosis than someone who's not.
Okay.
So that's a wall they have to get over. So imagine you have that, you're trying to shift that for yourself and you're having a lot of trouble. But they actually found that when they use exogenous ketones, specifically the ones I work with, they actually use this in the test, they're able to overcome that barrier, and those people can get in so much easier than those who were not.
Okay. So
it's actually really cool. I mean, again, there's more and more science coming out. And if you look at some of the science, too, about the testing they've done, a lot of times they are giving versions of an exogenous ketone to that animal to make that change. So there's just a lot of pieces to it. I think they're great. Now, some people like Dr. Berg will say they're not necessary, and I'll agree. They're not necessary. But for me, they're a hack. Okay. And if I can make their lifestyle easier to do and maintain, as well as accelerate their results, why not use it? Especially when you have that bad meal or you screw up your macros. Like early on, before you're adapted I go through 3 levels, Dory. I have ketosis, keto adaptation, super keto adaptation.
Okay.
So to me, ketosis is making ketones. Keto adaptation means you're starting to utilize them, and then super keto adapted is what I consider when you're back to kind of what we are natively, when you can have an exposure in either to glucose or carbs and not get knocked out, and or be able to go right back in on your own. Most people, if you start screwing around, it takes days or weeks to get back. So this is a way to kind of patch that hole. Oh my God, I was bad. I was 4 weeks into keto. I was at a birthday party. I ate a piece of cake, and now, blah. Well, 2 hours later, I'm drinking ketones. You're right back in.
Okay.
I've been keto solid for over 3 years, and I would tell you, personally, if I didn't have the option of the ketones, I don't know if it would have been as easy to maintain as it has been.
Okay.
Personally. Again, I find that with some people. So those are just I'll get off my soapbox.
Well, and you know what? I pretty much really agree with you there. When I have kind of a weird story with ketones, actually. I accidentally found keto because of ketones. I had no idea about keto. I'd never heard of keto. My girlfriend wanted to take the latest weight loss shake. I agreed to split a month with her, and when it arrived, she messaged me all excited. Oh my God, Dory, I did my research, and there's a whole diet. And I was like, girl, are you kidding me right now? Do you want to be my friend or no? Like, you have some nerve to say the D word in front of me, like, not having it. And she said, oh no, this is different. You're gonna like this one. And I was like, yep, yeah, I'm so ready, like, but I watched the video and it made sense to me. Like, it made sense to me, and I'm impulsive. I decided that day, that's it, I'm gonna keto. And I told my family, and they were like, wow, that's an awesome idea for you. Have fun with that. That sounds like really cool for you. And I didn't really care. I had never stuck to a diet in my life for more than 3 days ever. I dieted myself fat my whole life. But this time I decided, so it's not a diet, I'm going to make a healthy choice, and I'm going to make one every day, and I don't have to know everything, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And I decided I was just going to do it. And some people really need to research. I was like, it sounds good.
Listen, you know, that's awesome. Sometimes blind faith is just jumping in and doing it and just having the commitment, right? Some people, they do need research to death, but, you know, you can practice, but eventually you got to do it. Like, sometimes you'll read and research to death, and you just, you know, you can't walk on water unless you step out of the boat, right? So sometimes you need to just take the plunge a little bit. Hopefully, if you get a little wet, it's okay. But I always tell people the one thing they really should do is prep.
Okay.
Right? Be mentally ready, and also, you know, get some of the stuff in the house you're going to need. At least do that. Like, don't just, I wouldn't go, hey, tomorrow I'm going to be keto, and then have nothing to eat. You know, and nothing but Oreo cookies in your house. You know, or know that I'm going to be at work, and I'm going to be like, crap. Because your keto journey will end very quickly if that's what you do. Right?
Yes.
Or you have a wedding 2 days from now, and I'm just going to have fun there, but I'm going to start keto today. No, wait, do the wedding.
Yes.
Have fun. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of know what's coming up so you don't sabotage yourself before you start.
My favorite comedian has a bit about being excited about a new diet. And she's like, it's not that I'm not excited. I want to be healthy, but I'm just eating lettuce because I don't know what else to do.
Right.
And you don't want to find yourself in that position. So take a little time. Google what you can eat on keto. Ask some friends. Join a couple keto groups. That's a thing. If you're out there in internet land and you didn't know that, there are other people doing keto who are hanging out just waiting to help you.
Never heard about it.
Right? I didn't for the first 6 months.
Right.
That's why I mention it. Like, I did keto by myself for 6 whole months before I realized it was a thing. And one of my friends added me to a group, and I was like, that's a thing? They do that, Dr. Jason? So why don't you tell them about your group, where they can find your group?
You know, I do a lot of my stuff on my personal page, so you can always just find me that way, Jason I. Pape on Facebook.
Okay.
But I do have a Dr. Ketone group. So if you just search DR Ketone on Facebook, you can find me. There's a couple questions I'm going to ask you before we drop you in there. But feel free to try to join that. There's a Dr. Ketone TM. That's my more business page.
Okay.
But the Dr. Ketone group's great to jump on. Follow me on Facebook is always easy. You just hit the little follow links. I do go live twice a week, every week. Ooh. Wednesdays is usually when I do sciencey based stuff, with a good percentage of it being keto.
Okay.
It's not always about keto, but usually, and you'll just see me post usually a few hours before saying what I'm talking about. Like last night, I did 3 things that are killing the keto. And they're all public, so you can go back and watch whenever.
Awesome.
I just started doing TikTok, so my handle on TikTok is Dr. Ketone, DR Ketone. That's how we kind of connected. And I'm trying to do little like keto minutes where I'm doing 40 to 60 second little things. So follow me there. I do have an Instagram also at Dr. Ketone, which you can probably see me listed there today.
Yep.
But I got to be better about doing more. I'm going to try to shift more there on YouTube because Facebook just limits your engagement. I used to get so many views, and when they changed their algorithm, now no one, people are like, oh, you still doing your lives? I'm like, yeah, twice a week, every week.
I'm going to tell you the secret about that. Want to know? Because I know the secret. I'm so smart. So this is what happens. Because Facebook posts ads and boosts ads, whenever they do an update, it automatically resets everyone's following to resets it to your standard. So every couple of months, you need to go in and you need to reset your following notifications for everybody you follow on Facebook. It's a pain, but it's the only way. Every couple months, my ladies start messaging me, I'm not getting your notifications, Dory. I missed your live. Why did I miss it? And I tell them, go double check your notifications. They've been reset to the standard, which is very few posts. So it's unfortunate, but it's the money machine.
An update, you should go refollow the people you really want to refollow.
Yes, if it's someone that you want their content, make sure that you're checking every couple of months. Whenever they pop on live, just top on, make sure you're still following them, because Facebook will reset it. Instagram does the same, and I've noticed that whenever it updates, it won't allow me to follow new people. So it'll pop on and it'll say I'm following them. For example, you, when I found you, I followed you. The next post of yours I looked at, it says I'm not following you. I refollowed you again, and it keeps shutting it off. So then I clicked onto your notifications, so I can see all the notifications, and it pops up and says Instagram's having a hard time updating this right now. Please try again. So
That's ridiculous.
technology is a lot of what holds us back. It's not our desire to share, it's people's ability to find the information that we're putting out there.
Right. So perfect thing is just be mindful to know if you want it, they're not just going to give it to you. And Instagram and Facebook are the same company. So, while they may limit engagement differently on Instagram than they do on Facebook, still the same animal.
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you for those lovely tips.
You're welcome.
That would be more beneficial than keto tips.
Right.
I know where to keep finding my keto tips.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time. And if you're open to doing this again, I'd love to, because I feel like we just barely scratched on that surface.
Anytime. And
Awesome.
Do you want to see if anyone has any questions before we jump off?
Yeah, let's see. I'll take a scroll and see if we got any questions. I can take a look on Instagram as well. Kim says, I had a friend say, I'm just waiting for your heart to explode. She's going to be waiting a long time.
I think she wrote LOL at the end of that. Though, so
She did.
Friend said something like that. Yeah, heart's not going to explode. That's a bunch of BS.
Right?
That's people saying that fat's bad for you and that it's going to clog up your arteries. That's not how fat or cholesterol works.
Okay.
In fact, cholesterol is driven, the bad cholesterol, especially the size, small particle size, which we don't want, is driven up by glucose.
Okay.
And another thing what's a bigger impact on your cholesterol panel is inflammation than anything else. And guess what guess what helps lower inflammation?
Shh, don't tell everyone.
There's research showing it lowers the NLRP2 inflammasome, NLRP3 inflammasome. It actually dismantles inflammation. So, and then we can get the particle size. Now listen, in the beginning, if you make that first shift to keto, your cholesterol panel is going to look a little crazy.
Yes.
And I don't know why, never fails. Everyone starts keto, and like a month or two later, they go to the doctor and get a cholesterol panel. It's like,
wait,
my
3
doctor
months.
said I'm going to die. So realize that early on in your keto journey, your numbers are going to get skewed, and then they'll settle better. I've even seen people with familial hypercholesterolemia, that natural tendency to be high, normalize.
Yes.
So when you start to treat the body the way it's supposed to be treated, things get better, guys. It really does happen.
Yes. I have one more thing that I kind of want to cover before we close out.
Yeah.
It was a comment someone made to me on TikTok the other day, and they said this: keto's not for long term. It's not healthy. You know, it was designed to treat kids with epilepsy. It's not for everyone.
Okay. So first of all, let's talk about long term in that, right? If you have epilepsy and you're using it to control your seizures, if you stop doing keto, what do you think is going to happen to your seizures?
Exactly.
We'll come back. So that right along is like contraindication. It's like a contradiction, right? You're saying, oh, you can't do it long term, but you can. Here's what I would say. Could you cycle on and off it? Sure. And let me tell you, if you do it long enough, you could shift to more of a intermittent fasting paleo lifestyle and probably maintain your keto pretty well.
Okay.
Because that's really what, if you think about hunter-gatherers weren't really keto, they went for food, not food, and they had a balance. But we don't live like that, right? And then the other thing is, what are your sources?
Okay.
Like if you're going to McDonald's every day and taking the bun off and eating, and that's your keto, or you're eating hot dogs and like crappy source food, eventually that's going to catch up with you. Because that's not about health anymore, right?
Yes.
I preach a clean keto, clean source foods, all those kinds of things, because if you're eating garbage, eventually, you'll still get into ketosis, but at what cost?
Okay.
So if long term you're not doing a cleaner version, that could be more detrimental, but it's not because you're doing keto, it's because you're not doing keto healthfully.
Okay.
So those are the things I say to that. And I don't see, listen, I've been keto for over 3 years. I'm in pretty good shape for an old man. Dory, how long have you been doing it now?
Almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in April for me, and I'm 44 years old. I'll be 45 this summer.
You're a baby. I'm so
Look at the glowing skin.
Well, listen, it's a hard thing to maintain long term for some people, but if you make that real lifestyle shift and you look at it like a lifestyle, not like a diet, it'll be easier. And it comes down to sourcing. Like, you should not be eating garbage sourced meat, and you should be eating your vegetables and things like that, all from clean sources. Because remember this, and I'll make this my last piece. When animals store toxins in fat. Okay. We do, every animal does.
Okay.
So when you're eating a high-fat animal source, right, would you rather eat a grass-fed, organic, free-range piece of beef or a piece of a cow that was given genetically modified corn, antibiotics, hormones, and steroids?
Yeah.
So you're getting all that crap. You're getting genetically modified protein. You're getting inflammatory oils in your body instead of the nice anti-inflammatory ones you get from grass-fed cows and grass-finished cows, right? You're not getting all those other things thrown into your body which are unhealthy. You know, do I want a grain-fed, vegetarian-fed chicken or a chicken that went out and ate what it's supposed to eat, which is bugs and crap?
And sticks
You know
and
what I mean?
rocks.
What that?
Bugs and sticks and rocks.
Right. Maybe not the rocks so much, but they can eat those, but that's not really probably getting in the food. But like, yeah, so if you're eating this stuff, what are you eating? You know? So that's what it comes down to is like, what's your source? If you're eating bacon all day with nitrites and tons of sodium, not so good. Uncured organic when you can get it. Yes, organic eggs versus crappy eggs. Putting things in soybean oil as opposed to putting them in avocado or coconut oil. You know, those are the differences. If you're eating a lot of dairy, which I don't recommend, but if you do, what kind of cows are you drinking it from? Corn-fed, you know, antibiotics, hormones, and steroids, or grass-fed free range without all that garbage. Like, those are the things. So that makes a huge difference in maintaining, you know, the health piece of it.
Okay.
Those are my 2 cents.
I love it. These were such amazing tips, and we had so much fun. Thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to do it again sometime soon.
Well, I appreciate you having me. I definitely appreciate it. So, guys, thank you for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a great day. Okay, guys, I will be back a little bit later today, and we're going to do a live with another new TikTok friend, and we're going to talk a little bit about the other side of weight loss. So stay tuned. I think that's going to be a super fun one. Have a great day, guys.